In today's tutorial, let's do the Speedy Baby Blanket together, and that's a free pattern available on joann.com. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the Speedy Baby Blanket featuring Bernat Home Bundle yarn, and this is a free pattern available on joann.com, and there's a link in the more information of this video if you'd like to access this pattern. So what we have here is a really kind of a mixed bag of, of yarn, just like you see here in the ball. There's no knots together. This has actually been put together as it's manufactured, and it has a sewing join as it goes so that there's no knots. So what we have here is that we have Softee Chunky, we have Bernat Pipsqueak, we have Bernat Blanket, and we also have Boucle yarn, just like you see here. And so it changes yarn after a while, and then you have a really kind of a neat mix of yarns in here. You're going to need an 8mm size L crochet hook in order to play today, and this pattern is simply a granny square, and it's just amazing because of the way that the yarn turns out when you're using this yarn. So let's begin. So let's begin. Today we're going to create a slip knot, and it just happens to be starting on the blanket yarn, and it can start at anywhere in the ball. That's what's kind of fun about this yarn. And so you will see it changing throughout today's tutorial. So we're gonna begin by chaining 5. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we want to create a center ring of your afghan. So you want to insert your hook into the beginning chain, and then just yarn over and pull through, and you now have the starting chain just like, or the starting ring just like this. With this straggler, I want you to kind of pinch it together so it's part of it, so we can bury it in the first round. So let's begin round number 1. So in this blanket, what we're gonna be doing is that we're gonna be starting on one side of a corner and then going to the other side, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in just a moment. So what we want to do is we want to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, here's a double crochet, and then another 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that was a total of 6. So if you can visualize it like it's turning like this, it just is a lot easier in your mind, and it will make sense in just a moment. So we're now gonna create sides. So in order to do the sides on this, what we have is that you're just gonna wrap your hook just like this, and you are just going to put in 3 double crochets into the center ring. So 1, and keeping that straggler here locked into the middle just by holding it, and it will get stuck underneath the stitches. This is 2 and 3. So what we have here is that we have what appears to be kind of awkward at the moment, but it's really not. You just gotta kind of follow it as you go. So what we have here then is that we need to do a certain amount of things. So in the corners we have to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and then coming back into the center ring you want to double crochet 3 more times. So it's kind of just remembering that it's in groups of 3 as you're getting around this round. Just like this. And then you're coming to another corner. So another corner is chaining a 3, 1, 2, and 3, coming back into the ring, and the yarn is about to change to Pipsqueak on me here. So 1, 2, see, it's not a knot, it's just joined with a sew, and because it's kind of fluffy it will really turn out really well. So just go there. So you're just using this instead. So here's your 3, and then you have to chain 3 again. So 1, 2, and 3, and then coming into the center ring again. So you have 3 sides here. So 1, 2, 3, you have a portion of it first. So when you come to the final side here to finish it off, you're only gonna put in 2 double crochets only. So 1 and 2, and you're gonna go and join to the 3rd stitch up. So the 3rd chain with the slip stitch just like this. Okay, so you should be able to see 4 corners. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is where we're going to start row number 2. So let's begin. So to start each one we have to start right off into this chain 3 space. So you're just gonna go right into the chain 3 space, grab the yarn, and pull through, and this is a slip stitch to make it start into the corner. So now we're gonna chain 3 again, or chain 6. We're always gonna start by chaining 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is your double crochet and chain 3 as a corner. So coming into the same corner space you want to put in 3 more double crochets. Okay, so this is the other half of the corner. Now because you're working in gap spaces, this Pipsqueak is not a problem to work with. It's easy to find with the crochet hook. So in order to then move along as we go, we want to chain 1, So whenever you're in a flat space and you're coming across before the corners, it's always a chain one that separates these group of 3, and you're just gonna come right to the other side because the other side is now a corner that we're running right into, and it will get bigger and bigger as we go. So it's kind of like a progressive granny getting bigger and bigger. So each one of the corners is gonna be the same. So it'll be 3 double crochets. You've done this before. Just like that, and then chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and 3 double crochets in. Just like that. So because we're now on a flat side, what separates them is only a chain 1, and then you come in it happens to be another corner just right immediately. So it's gonna be 3 double crochets. So the pipsqueak will not last too long, but it's long enough to provide interest in the afghan, and then chaining a 3, remember, and then coming into the same corner you're going to put in 3 double crochets. And you're making your way all the way around, so you can see where this is where you started. So you're trying to get back there. So you're chaining 1 now, and you're gonna immediately jump to the next corner. So the corners are always the same, 3 double crochet and then 3 chains and then 3 double crochet. So I kinda like this yarn because you know where it's gonna end, because like the yarn's gonna change over. It just is kinda neat where it happens on the afghan. So you're gonna chain 1, and now you're coming back to the very start. Here's the chain 6, so you finish off the final corner with only 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. Now this is pipsqueak, so it's kinda harder to tell where the thing is, but you just have to eye it up. So 1, 2 and 3, and then just going into a chain. You can deal with that a lot easier in person than you can see it on the camera. So that's it. So what I want to do is I want to show you one more round, because every round is now identical up until you get to the final size that you want. You only need 2 balls, and it's about 32 inches. So let's start our next round. So you're just gonna slip stitch into the chain 2 space or chain 3 space. To get you started, you're gonna chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Coming into the same chain 3 space, you want to finish this corner on the other side, so it's gonna be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so now you're in the flat space here, so you're just gonna chain 1. You now have a new hole here that wasn't there before, and now you're just gonna fill that in with 3 double crochets. So in the middles are all just gonna be 3 double crochets as you work across, followed by a chain 1, and then the next one happens to be a corner. So in the corners are always the same, 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then coming back into the same corner. Okay, now chain 1, you're working along the flat edge, so just look for the next gapping space. So this is just a glorified granny square really. The only difference is you got thick yarn and you got fun yarn to play with. Like this, chain 1, and now the next one happens to be a corner. So there's gonna be 3 double crochets there. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then 3 double crochets again. Just like that. And I'm just trying to organize my yarn off camera here. And chain 1, coming into the next one here, it's a chain 3 space, or it's a chain 1 space. I'm just filling it in with 3 double crochets. And off camera my boucle is now coming on. So chain 1, here's the corner. So here is the boucle coming on board, just like you see here. So I can just start working with that right away. It comes right in, and I want to do my corners as normal. So 3. So this is gonna be nice and chunky here. Chain 3. The trick with the boucle is to make sure that you get your yarn to open up as you go, so don't want to be too tight with boucle. It's It's got lots of great fibers in there to play with. Then chain 1 and coming back in to the next one is your gap in the middle. So you're gonna see lots of fun texture with this particular baby blanket, and we're back at the start. So at the start, remember, we'd already chained 6, so we're just gonna finish this one off with 2 double crochets like so. Okay, and then you just join it to about the third one up. So just look for it. It's easier to see it in person than it is to see it here on camera, I know. Just like that. So to start your next one, then again you slip stitch to the chain 3 space. Just provide extra, a little bit of get rid of any tension that you have, and then chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Coming into that same space there, you want to do the other side of the corner, so it's gonna be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, chain 1, and now this time around you have 2 spaces here, then a corner, so you're just gonna fill in some spaces. So it's just gonna progressively get bigger on you, and I'll meet you at the end of this revolution to finalize off today's tutorial together. So the only difference is that there's gonna be more and more spaces added as you go in each revolution. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of this revolution. So as I come all the way back around, as it was changing, and it just changed over to Softee Chunky, and I am just going to finish off this corner. Remember that this is the starting one, so therefore I chain 6. So I already have a portion of this one done, so I only do 2, and I join it to the third one up. And then I begin again. So just chaining into the slip stitch into the chain 3 here, and then chain 6, and then begin all over again. So this is how you do one of these Afghans. It's really quite easy. It's called the Speedy Baby Blanket. It truly is speedy. You have lots of great texture and a lot of great ideas. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.